All right, guys, I am so excited because Centr has just sent us this enormous palette of equipment that they use in HYROX races. If you don't know HYROX, please look it up. There are some elite athletes in it, and honestly, a HYROX race looks so intimidating yet compelling. So if you have done one, please let me know your experience in the comments below. But basically, the World Championships for HYROX is coming up in June. They have sent us a ton of equipment. We're gonna go ahead and set it up to turn our garage into basically a HYROX space. Let you guys know exactly what you need to train in order to do a HYROX, or just like any sort of endurance, like competition, or maybe that's just the style of training you like. I kind of feel like I'm about to do like a ribbon cutting right now. So let's go ahead and get started. And also please hit that subscribe button because we have a ton of equipment. I mean, literally our list is so long and we have so much goodness coming to you guys. So please hit that subscribe button. And thank you, Centr, for sending us all this equipment, because to say I am excited is like an understatement. I've been following HYROX. I love the sport. I'm excited. So let's see what they sent us. This is like the most dramatic ribbon cutting I've ever had. We should have put a ribbon on it. Are these metal straps? This is Quentin's job. If you saw our other video, you know it's Quentin's job, not mine. Okay, so first I am seeing their power sled. Obviously, sled is a part of the HYROX. They have a sled push and a sled pull. Super excited to test this out. We've done a ton of reviews on different types of sled by the Torque or other brands, and so I'm excited to see how this one compares. In total, the sled itself is 50 kilograms, and then they add on weight depending on what division you're in. So with the women's weight, I could be wrong. I think it's like 225, and then that's for the open. And then if you decide to do the pro division, your weight moves up in there, and then also men's weights are different than women's weights. So wall ball, this is an 8.8 pound wall ball. I'm not sure what the weight on the wall ball is. It might be 9 pounds, 10 pounds, but this is what they sent us, so I'm assuming it's the 4 kilogram. But at the end of the race, basically you're doing like 1,000 meter runs in between each station, and then the race finishes with 100 wall balls. And if you do 100 wall balls unbroken, they actually give you like a little yellow flag to kind of say like, hey, I did 100 wall balls unbroken, which actually feels crazy to me. This is really nice. This feels like really solid. I'm excited to use this. So 22 pound sandbag is what the weight is for all of your sandbag walking lunges. I think it's like 100 meters or maybe 200 meters that you are gonna be doing walking lunges after your run. And I'm excited to see like the handles and how this feels on your back. Smells like new equipment. Makes me happy. It's like Christmas morning here. That's how I feel. So a couple different places that you can grab onto the sandbag while you're doing your walking lunges. So excited to test this out and see how this feels while you're doing that movement. Okay, here are their bumper plates for the sled push and then the sled pull. Thor, what are your initial impressions about this? This is a 25 kilogram, so close to about 50 pounds.
First thing I noticed, it's very slick. I don't know if they put a coating on it.
Probably a coating. That seems to be like a very common thing when we get new bumper plates in, is it has some sort of like coating on top of it. As it wears down, you won't notice it. But this is designed for sled push and sled pull. I'm curious if you could use this for like Olympic lifts too, like how that would feel, like how bouncy it is.
Right.
Okay, power sled. I'm excited to open this. I'm excited for Thor to open this. Honestly, what would I do without these guys? It would take me so long to unbox all of this by myself. All right, they're gonna put this together for us. We'll let you know how the assembly is on it, get their thoughts as they do it. But obviously you have your pulls for your push, your base. Ooh. That looks nice. So it's like a twist in design basically. So I'm assuming that's probably really helpful. Ooh, and this has knurling on it. That's something I didn't expect and something you don't see with a lot of other sleds is like having this knurled handlebar on the pole. Interesting. That probably will feel really good as you're pushing. Comes with instructions, which is always helpful. There are some companies, how many times do you guys open up a box and can't find the instructions right away?
Every single time.
Yeah.
They're usually at the last box that you pick.
Exactly, so having it right out on front is really nice. Oh, so the lock-in design is for the weight, which is really nice. And then you have these nice knurled poles for your pushing. I'm excited to put this on the turf and see how it feels. All right, Q, give it a little push, see how it feels. Nice.
That's smooth.
Smooth.
That is so smooth. That's a barely touching that. And then.
Okay, yeah, here we go.
That's really nice.
Really
That's
nice.
so smooth. Whoa.
All right, hold on, can I push Q?
Yes.
Let's try it. Wait,
You may have to get low.
I'm not even gonna ask how much this is going to be.
She's insinuating that I weigh less.
Here we go. Okay. It's
There you
like,
go, yeah.
I'm just sliding that. Okay, here we go. Yep.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, easy. Guys, I can do a HYROX right now, no problem.
Nice.
Nice little like U-shaped design right here. Hook on for your poles, or even if you were to do like backwards walking or something, that is actually, I like, a lot of the time sleds have it almost right here. I like that it's right here. All right, let's see what else. Power rope for the sled. I can't get over how nice that sled feels.
That is probably one of the smoothest sleds that I've ever pushed.
Yeah.
Well, I like that it breaks down and all of it's fairly lightweight once it breaks down. It's not cumbersome.
And I'm not sure we pointed this out, but how tall the
handlebars are.
be up here. It's not always having to be down here.
Yep.
That's a great feeling.
Oh, nice. This is like a heavy duty rope.
So like right here, how this is bolted through there, it actually goes through the rope, so that rope can't just slide out. Not only is it clamped, but it actually goes all the way through.
Yeah.
So that's,
Super smart building when it comes to this kind of stuff. They've like really thought through what they're doing. All right, let's go put this on the sled. Little slick initially, the rope is, but once you get chalk on there, I think it'll feel really nice. So definitely want to like, probably before you use it, lay it out flat because it does have these little like coil rings in it right now. Oh yeah, that's super smooth. This is a really good width on the rope, and it's like really textured, so you have a really good grip on the rope, which I really like. I also like that they have like markings on the rope. Yeah, that's really nice. That's really smooth. I really like both of these a lot. This is a long rope. I don't think I realized how long 15 meters was. Like people are pulling that multiple times with weight on. It's GGR. Oh! Nope. What? Nope. What?
Whoa!
What?
What's in the box?
Where'd you?
Are you serious? Are you serious? I like literally was like, is there a dead animal in there? Like that's what I thought. Did you guys plan that?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Assholes.
Yes! Got a real reaction, I love it.
Quinch's face was so convincing. You actually have missed your calling as an actor, for real.
And the Oscar goes to...
Okay, so packed up very nicely. This, I think, is like you can do sled on it as well as running from like the pictures I saw online. Batteries, don't lose that for the screen, I'm assuming, because this is like a manual tread. So no power required for it. And then look at this.
Manual.
Instructions right on top. So smart. We just did a like manual tread roundup comparing like the Assault, Bells of Steel manual, Treadmill, True Grip, Zebix Runner, and we hadn't tested this one out yet, so I'm excited to see how this one compares and maybe update our roundup if this one is good, which based on all the other equipment that we've seen so far, I do have high hopes. So they are gonna assemble this and we'll come back, test it out.
So we've gotten it unboxed this far, but this is very, very heavy, so you're not gonna be able to really pick it up out of here. So the easiest thing to do is choose a side. In this case, this is the most open side for us. We just loosened these 4 sides, and now we can slide it completely out to get access to it. So that's probably gonna be your best option if you're uncrating this.
Okay, so the first thing that is really nice, obviously this is a heavy treadmill. I'm not sure what the weight on it is, but there are wheels on the front, so you can go ahead and lift it up from the back and wheel it around if you want to like bring it outside from your garage. I also like how these sides are textured, so if you're doing any sort of sprints, need to hop off the side really quick, you're not going to fall because this is pretty, at least a little grippy, and that makes it really nice and comfortable to run on. So I would say, like most treadmills, 2 people, so somebody can hold something in place while the other person, what do I say, screws the screws in? Tightens the screws in?
Yes.
One of those. Secures the bolts.
Safety first.
On this side, there are some connectors right here. They've got them zip tied so they won't go anywhere. We're gonna cut that zip tie, and now we can actually attach them onto here.
Oh, hair's going up.
Yeah.
Serious business now.
You may need a pair of needle nose pliers to attach the cord down in this area. It doesn't show that you may need one, but you may need it to open up the bracket and then close the bracket back up once you actually assemble the wire.
Okay, so the max user weight capacity on this is 396.8 pounds, and then the assembled product is 400 pounds. So very typical with a manual treadmill, but obviously really heavy. This actually reminds me so much of the Blitz magnetic resistance treadmill from Bells of Steel that also has like a sled push function. On the Bells of Steel one, I think it comes with 8 levels. Yeah, 8 levels of resistance. This is the same, but on the Bells of Steel, when you went into that sled mode and so the Bells of Steel has 6 levels of magnetic resistance, sorry. It was really light, so I'm curious with the 8 levels if this one will feel a little bit better. So not 400 and not 400 and not 397.
Yeah, 396.
They put somebody on there that was 396.6 and said yes. They put somebody on there that said 396.8, yes. They put somebody on there that said 397, they said, hold on.
It collapsed.
It collapsed. Can't do it. So be aware.
Noted.
I think it's because it's in kilograms. They have all their stuff in kilograms, so that'd be 180 kilograms.
So
it just did it.
equivalent.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so Adam is 6'4", so a very large, tall person. The belt deck is 59 inches, but because of its curved design, you feel like it still has plenty of length, even if you're at like a full angle, right?
I do, because I'm actually able to lean forward and get my glutes to activate. And as you can see with my back foot,
It's still got a couple inches. It's not gonna like come off anytime.
yeah, there are other brands that the deck length just was not long enough, but this one is.
Which even 59 inches is not on the shorter side, but we see other treadmill lengths that are longer, but because of its curved design, it gives you plenty of space on the right angle to really be able to like fully extend your stride. So after you have the arms on, what's next? What's the next step?
Front part with the control on it.
Okay. So you have to wire up.
Yeah, I got one wire connector.
Okay.
Well, and one thing that does bug me with certain manufacturers is that if you're going to put a screw right here, you see how much room you had up here?
Then you could have put it up there so you could actually turn the
Actually
Allen
turn
wrench
this,
the
but
whole
now
way.
it hits every time, so I have to
But that's
turn
like
it.
pretty common. I feel like that happens.
I know, which is like, I really wish people would stop doing that.
You heard it here. You heard it here from Adam. Stop.
Give us enough room. Come on, it's simple. From there to there. Come on.
Okay, I was mistaken. We were mistaken. Look what we just found. This actually makes me so happy. So this is the handlebar that I thought was missing that will attach to the back of the treadmill so you can move it easy. It's a 400-pound treadmill, so thank God. But really, I thought it didn't have one. I'm so excited that it does have one because a lot of the times whenever you're training with a manual treadmill, a lot of people like to move it in and out of their garage, and the fact that it didn't have a handlebar initially, I was like, ooh, that's gonna be hard to move. I was wrong. It's right here, so we'll put that on, and that actually makes this even better in my book. If I can't do this, I'm fired.
I mean, it's got a decent little bit of resistance to it.
I wonder where that
Well, and that's what I'm
steel
thinking.
one
If I was
is.
going faster, it would definitely be good.
But for somebody who doesn't have, like we were talking about, a big long area to train on, and they still want to get some sort of resistance, like mimic that sled push,
Yeah.
this is really handy to have.
It breaks.
I assemble. That didn't scare me.
Self-destruct in T-.
And built by Lindsay.
Yeah.
Totally no help, did it on my own. Okay, basically just the leg covers. And this is done before 30 minutes. 27 minutes right now. So they can get these leg covers on. In terms of the assembly on this was actually a really easy build. It took two people, obviously Quentin and Adam, just about 35 minutes and 40 seconds. We actually timed it. There was no part that was like overly complicated. It was pretty straightforward. So definitely just give yourself around 30 minutes with a buddy and you should be able to put this together fairly quickly. But guys, the resistance on this is so good. So I'm just at level 1 and it already feels like pretty decent. It goes up to 8 levels with that simple lever and it feels so tough. So if you are somebody who doesn't have the availability to do sled pushes, but you want to train for that, this is crazy. Like, the resistance is actually really good on this. I'm already out of breath and it feels so hard. Okay, so the boys just got done assembling this. We moved it into the GGRE garage. I'm not gonna give you any sort of spoilers, okay? You're gonna have to watch the full video review on this HYROX Performance treadmill to see all of my thoughts about it, but it is a treadmill and then also a sled push, which I think is like actually ingenious. We've seen some other treadmills try and do that, so we'll have to compare how this one actually stacks up. But guys, my first impressions of all the HYROX equipment, I love it. Like, honestly, it is so great, particularly the sled. I love the knurled handlebars. I love the rope. I mean, the wall balls. It's a wall ball, but it's good quality. The sandbag, super comfortable for lunges, and then obviously this bad boy. So thank you for watching, but be sure to come back to our channel, make sure you are subscribed so you can see our in-depth review about all this equipment. And then also watch the World Championships. HYROX is coming out in June. There's gonna be some elite athletes showing off their skills, and I'm excited to follow along. This has been Lindsay with Garage Gym Reviews.